This is Know Your History. Hip-hop knowledge with Chase March.
Smart, in the south, the sour. We teaching hip-hop. Now you're learning. And if you don't know your history, I know you're fake.
The iconic sounds of the Jeopardy Think music right there. That is just so ubiquitous. Every time someone has to think or make a decision, quite often you hear that song coming in. People that have never watched the quiz show Jeopardy on TV know that song and know the host, Alex Trebek. Well, unfortunately, we lost him due to stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He died November 8th, 2020 at the age of 80, and he will sorely be missed. My name is Chase March. This program is usually about hip-hop music and history, and we dive deep into the culture and different aspects of it. Today we are going to look at hip-hop on Jeopardy. This quiz show had a lot of great hip-hop moments. You'll be able to play along with some of the clues, and we're going to dive into things here and pay tribute to Alex Trebek. I read his memoir. It was great. You should check it out. I bet you it'll jump back on the bestseller list. This is a tragedy. I didn't think he was going anywhere, and he didn't either. I remember I saw this announcement on Jeopardy's Instagram page over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. This is from March 6th, 2019.
Hi, everyone. I have some news to share with all of you, and it's in keeping with my longtime policy of being open and transparent with our Jeopardy fan base. I also wanted to prevent you from reading or hearing some overblown or inaccurate reports regarding my health. So therefore, I wanted to be the one to pass along this information. Now, just like 50,000 other people in the United States each year, this week I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. Now, normally the prognosis for this is not very encouraging, but I'm going to fight this, and I'm going to keep working. And with the love and support of my family and friends, and with the help of your prayers also, I plan to beat the low survival rate statistics for this disease. Truth told, I have to, because under the terms of my contract, I have to host Jeopardy for 3 more years. So help me, keep the faith, and we'll win. We'll get it done. Thank you.
You know, it's almost inconceivable to think of Jeopardy without its host, Alex Trebek, at the helm. Fortunately, they shoot episodes ahead of time, so we're still going to have him on our TVs every night, keeping us company and entertained up until Christmas. After that, who knows what's going to happen? But hip-hop has been part of Jeopardy, and Jeopardy's been part of my life for as long as I can remember. In fact, there's a little documentary from Genius, which is a lyric hip-hop site. At least it started that way, and it's expanded to much more. And they did a little bit of research on the first time rap music was featured in a Jeopardy clue. And this is what they had to say.
So when is the first time Jeopardy featured hip-hop? We reached out to the folks at J-Archive, a fan site with over 300,000 clues dating back to Trebek's first episode in 1984.
This is Jeopardy.
To their knowledge, the earliest clue was in 1988 in the category Fat Music, saying, hefty rappers who joined Chubby Checker for a new version of the Twist in 1988.
All right, I told you can play along in this edition of Know Your History. We're looking at hip-hop in Jeopardy, and they just did a clue there. And here's the abridged version, a hip-hop remake of a Chubby Checker song in 1988. Who did it? What is the Fat Boys? Now let's get back to this Genius mini documentary on hip-hop as it was featured on Jeopardy.
The researchers told us hip-hop was used in college tournaments seemingly to entice students. In 1992, there was an entire category dedicated to rappers. The hardest question for 500 was, a combination of rap and guitar rock took his Wild Thing single to number 2 on the Billboard pop chart.
Wild Thing single, number 2 on Billboard. And it's guitar rock is the category. Do you got this one? Who is Tone Loc?
In the adult game, the earliest hip-hop category came in 1998. The hardest question for 800 was, Ed Lover and Fab Five Freddy were among the hosts of this MTV show that helped bring rap to suburbia. What is Yo MTV Raps? The Jeopardy writers have even had unique names for hip-hop categories.
MC Trebek into his house, 800.
It's getting hot in here, so hot. So take off all your clothes. Amanda.
Who is Nelly?
Right.
As hip-hop grew into a cultural juggernaut, its categories and clues appeared more often. In 2014, Trebek even went viral for reciting bars from a fellow Canadian.
This Canadian rapped, Jumpman, them boys up to something. I think I need some Robitussin.
While Drake has never appeared in an episode of Jeopardy, he did star in a parody.
Wait, you're a black Canadian?
Obviously, dog. I mean, like, yo, there's thousands of us. I'm sure you've met a few of us before.
Nope.
Jeopardy's researchers have even included some pretty niche clues, like this one on Harlem rapper Cameron.
Rapper Cameron had a pink one of these alliterative super SUVs, but sold it as it got too much attention. Had a pink Range Rover.
Hip-hop artists even enjoyed their time in the sun on the game show. Big Boy took to Instagram to celebrate a clue based on the Dungeon family. Jeopardy will surely continue to use hip-hop clues, and honestly, we can't wait to see what bars Trebek drops next.
Well, there's 35 episodes still to air, so hopefully we do get Alex Trebek spitting a few more bars on Jeopardy before he exits stage left. Man, that's so sad. It's going to be a sad day. It was a sad day when this news came through. My mom was actually really surprised when I read Alex Trebek's memoir, because she read it too. And we don't often have the same reading tastes. So she heard the news last weekend and texted me right away. I just heard on TV, and I was like, I couldn't believe it, because Alex Trebek is still on our TV every week. I have a toddler, not yet 2, and he jumps up and down in front of the TV. He loves Jeopardy. I've been watching Jeopardy since I was a kid, and, without Alex Trebek at the helm, Jeopardy and television is never going to be the same. But it's a great show, and I'm sure it will be able to continue on with a new host. In the meantime, let's hear Alex Trebek spitting some of those bars that we just heard about. Here are some rap categories, and I encourage you to play along. Shout out the answers if you know them, and remember, your answer needs to be in the form of a question.
If you are ready for Double Jeopardy, we are going to show you the category. The 1990s rap song.
Let's go to rap song for 400.
And the lights are blinking. I'm thinking it's all over when I go out drinking, insane in this. Tom.
What is the membrane?
Right.
Rap for 800.
Completes the title of a notorious B.I.G. hit, Mo Money. Ken?
What is Mo Problems?
Right.
90s for 1200.
Shock G taught us the moves of this digital underground dance. Ken?
What's the Humpty Dance?
Yes.
90s for 1600.
Go Hammer, MC Hammer is in the tune with this forward title. Ken?
What is You Can't Touch This?
That's it.
Rap songs for 2000.
From the Beastie Boys, I can't stand it, I know you planned it. Listen, all y'all, it's a this. It's a sabotage.
You were listening to Know Your History, episode 87. This is in tribute to Alex Trebek, the longtime game show host of Jeopardy! You will be missed. Television will not be the same. And it was always fun to see entire categories of hip-hop trivia on your show. That last game was fun. Did you get them all? Let's try another round.
You'll love this one. Hip-hop feuds.
Hip-hop feuds for 12.
The mom of this Empire State of Mind and Hard Knock Life star told him to apologize to Nas after a very rough diss track. Karen.
This is Jay-Z.
He's the one.
Hip-hop for 16.
Very little we can quote from his No Vaseline. Let's just say this man was feeling cold toward his ex-NWA bandmates. Saeed.
Who's Ice Cube?
Yes.
Hip-hop for 8.
In 2014, this NCIS Los Angeles co-star ended a 17-year rift with Cannabis, with the two rapping on stage in Brooklyn. Saeed?
Who's LL Cool J?
Yeah.
Hip-hop for 2.
He has ended his feud with 50 Cent and also changed his physique, making his rap name less accurate. That would be Fat Joe. Saeed?
Finish hip-hop, please.
The Source magazine began a feud with this Detroit rapper and film star, but he put a nail in the coffin on that. Karen.
This is Eminem.
Eminem is right.
Man, I remember watching these in the original run. Jeopardy is definitely one of my favorite shows, and I get enough of them right that my wife thinks I'm smart, so that's kind of cool. And not just the hip-hop ones, but here's another hip-hop category. Let's see how you do on these. See if you can answer these questions, but make sure you do it in the form of a question, because that's how Jeopardy was structured. And there's actually a good reason for that.
Back in the 1950s, quiz shows were mired in scandal.
These shows, in some cases, turned out to be rigged. People were given the answers in advance.
In the Senate hearing room, the dramatic climax of the probe of fixed and rigged quiz shows.
Enter Merv Griffin, talk show host, songwriter, and game show impresario. In the mid-1960s, his wife Julianne suggested that he create a new kind of quiz show, one in which contestants were provided the answers.
Merv said, "Are you crazy? That's why people went to jail, for giving contestants the answers."
The original title of Jeopardy was, "What's the Question?"
Who is Paul Getty? TV executives weren't convinced about the game. They thought there wasn't a sense of risk.
Wrong. There's not enough jeopardy in it for when a contestant gets an incorrect answer. Incorrect. And that word stuck.
Jeopardy! That was in 1964 with the first host of Jeopardy, Art Fleming.
Welcome to a brand new show called Jeopardy!
A decade later, it went off the air.
This is Jeopardy!
But came back in 1984 with Alex Trebek as the host and Johnny Gilbert as the announcer.
This is my 36th year on the show. As a matter of fact, Alex and I are the only two original people. we have outlasted everybody.
This is Jeopardy, show 8140.
Jeopardy holds the Guinness record as the longest-running quiz show in history. And in all that time, the format has barely changed. They still tape 5 shows in real time. So during the commercial breaks, Alex addresses the audience.
Yes.
I talk to the audience. I take questions from them.
Ma'am.
Upon your retirement, who would you like to see replace you?
Betty White.
That was a clip from the ABC special, What is Jeopardy?, that aired last year, and it was really cool because it gave you a behind the scenes of what Jeopardy is all about. This was prior to Alex Trebek's memoir coming out, so we got to see things behind the scenes that we probably didn't know. Did you know that they shoot a whole week's worth of episodes in one day? In real time, back to back to back, with only like 15 minutes in between each show? And they do that twice a week. It's also really interesting that we answer the questions in the form of a question. Maybe you don't know that's why we do it. It's so ingrained in me, though, when I watch other trivia shows or listen to some on the radio, I inadvertently answer them in the form of a question. Another thing that Jeopardy did was they had a cap. You could only win 5 games and you were done. You were retired as a Jeopardy champion, and then they would have the champions come back in tournaments. They got rid of that rule, so now if you win, you can keep on winning. And that's why Ken Jennings was able to have the longest streak in Jeopardy history. And James Holzhauer came along and had a very winning streak. So it's interesting to see where this show came from and where it's gone. And I want to see where it's going, but I definitely am looking forward to these last episodes of Alex Trebek hosting Jeopardy, because it's not going to be the same without him. I read his memoir, and his memoir was really interesting because in it, he talked about how he wanted to be known as the host of Jeopardy. If you watch Wheel of Fortune, Pat Sajak and Vanna White are introduced as the stars of the game. In Jeopardy, Alex Trebek is always announced as the host, not as the star, and that was by his doing. He wanted it to be that way. He didn't want to be the star. If you get his memoir, get the audiobook because he narrates it. It's crazy to think that he was going through stage 4 pancreatic cancer. He wrote a memoir and he was able to narrate it. Now, he didn't carry all the chapters. He had Ken Jennings do some, who is definitely well known in Jeopardy. He had that long run, a 74 game streak. And then when they brought back the all-time winning champions and they had the greatest of all time tournament, that's HipHop right there. They had a GOAT tournament and Ken Jennings came out ahead on that. Ken Jennings is actually part of the Jeopardy team right now. He does some clues and contributes to questions. And I wonder if he might be the new host. A lot of people were thinking that when they originally signed him on to be part of the production team, but they denied those rumors. So we'll see what happens. Personally, I would like to see Brad Rutter take over. He had the most winnings in Jeopardy history at $5.1 million. He's got a personality that I think would work. He knows the game well, and it wouldn't be that different from how Alex hosted. So whatever Jeopardy is going to do to fill these shoes, they are going to be big shoes to fill. And hopefully it's done right and this game show can continue on without him, because I know Alex would want that. The producer of the show did a special intro this week talking about Alex's wishes and how much he cared for the show. So you could see him. He was actually tearing up in that. You know, it's a sad day. It's definitely going to be a sad day when his last episode airs. But let's get back into some more trivia right now with another hip-hop category. This one's a lot of fun too. You are listening to Know Your History. We are celebrating Alex Trebek's life and the legacy he has given us in the quiz show, Jeopardy. Let's play along with another round. And remember, call out the answers. And if you're with somebody listening to your radio, let's see who can get the most and who can answer them quickest. All right, Alex, let's do some more trivia.
Let's rap, kids.
I'll take Let's Rap Kids for 200, please.
Started from the bottom, now we're here. Started from the bottom, now the whole team here. Lily.
What is Drake?
Good. Back to you, Julia.
Let's Rap for 600, please.
Buy a chopper and have a doctor on speed dial, I guess. Mad City. Julia.
Who is Kendrick Lamar?
Right.
Let's Rap for 800, please.
6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. Young Money Militia, and I am the commissioner. You don't want to start wheezy because the F is for finisher. Alex.
Who is Kanye West?
No. Lily.
Who's Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne, yeah.
Let's Rap for 400, please.
They mad, they ain't famous. They mad, they still nameless. But we still hood famous. Yeah, we still hood famous. Julia?
Who is Kanye West?
Yes, and I hope I don't get an email from him. Go.
Let's Rap for 1,000.
Panda, 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 panda. Lily.
Who is Designer?
Designer, yes, and that takes you up to 2,600. I was just getting into this rap thing. I'm not too good at it, but I was getting into it. We'll come back in a moment.
You are listening to Know Your History, your dose of hip-hop knowledge with Chase March. It is a show within a show that we do here on Word is Bond Rap Radio and Dope FM. And today we are looking at the legacy of Alex Trebek and Jeopardy. And it's amazing how many hip-hop clues have been woven into the show over the years. And when they went back in history, Alex Trebek started this game show in 1984. And trying to do some research, it looks like the first clue about rap music was in 1988. Now they have clues all the time. They actually had 2 clues on today's show, and I didn't get audio of that, unfortunately. I wanted to run those. But I do have some audio of a time that he kind of dissed a contestant, and it got a bunch of rappers mad at him, and they came back with a huge diss track. Yeah, a diss track towards Alex Trebek from a bunch of rappers. Anyway, before we get to that track, let's hear the exchange. Because what happens in Jeopardy is a little bit different than other game shows. Sometimes you see a little bit of a bio of the contestant, or there's a little bit of a conversation between the host and the contestant. What happens in the middle of Jeopardy is they tell a weird story, and Alex talks and has some banter with the contestants. I don't know how they pick these stories, because sometimes the contestants are sharing something really strange. But this is one about musical taste and what this contestant had to say. Alex threw some shade at. I don't need to introduce it anymore. Here's the clip.
Susan Cole is from Bowie, Maryland, and her favorite type of music is something I've never heard of, but it doesn't sound like fun.
I think it's very fun. It's called Nerdcore HipHop. It's
Nerdcore
HipHop. Yes. It's people who identify as nerdy, rapping about the things they love, video games, science fiction, having a hard time meeting romantic partners, you know. It's really catchy and fun.
Losers, in other words.
Wow, that was harsh, Alex. Now, I know nerdcore is a style of music that not everyone can get around, but when it's called nerdcore, you know they're going to watch your show. Nerds are watching Jeopardy, and nerd rappers when they get their back up, they can certainly form like Voltron and put together an incredible diss track. They're having fun with this one, so it's not just tear him down. I think there's playful aspects to both sides, and I hope Alex Trebek was able to appreciate this. This is MC Frontalot, Schaefer the Dark Lord, Beefy, MC Hawken, Richie Branson, Mikal Kill, Samus, YT Cracker, Dual Core, Jesse Dangerously, MC Lars, Megaran, and Dr. Awkward, who is Alex Trebek. You are listening to Word is Bond Rap Radio and Dope FM's Know Your History as we celebrate Alex Trebek and the legacy of Jeopardy. Now here it is, Suck It Trebek by Nerdcore.
Losers, in other words.
Well, I think... Sure.
No, I'm teasing you.
Shuck on it, Trebek. Shuck it long and shuck it hard.
Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. You can suck it, Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. And you can suck it, Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. You can suck it, Trebek.
Hey, Alex, I'd like to buy a vowel. We're the misfits of which you've run afoul. I double dare you to press your luck with us and our crew. Let's make a deal or no deal, you brought this family feud.
Please forgive the vitriol, because we get a bit bombastic when it comes to Jeopardy. Well, I prefer Dan Patrick. Call us losers, then backtrack it like you didn't really mean it on a show that's made for geeks. So what you think, we wouldn't see it?
Yo, Alex Trebek, you best check your neck. You got no respect for the Nerdcore set. While we don't forget, we've been known to forgive. So if you genuflect, we might let you live.
Yo, I heard you called the squad nothing but losers. Well, the only thing I lost was a couple of tumors. While we on the subject, I think you lost your mind. Like your mustache, man, you really crossed the line.
Seems ill-advised to diss a group of backpack rappers. Flip the script, bunch of fancy black hat hackers. I'm the IT manager, audio daily double. Where I'm part of your MCs is bursting the bubble.
I used to come to Jeopardy to learn more stuff. Now you best and I be messing with my Nerdcore bloods. Ride the way if you can catch it, grab a surfboard, love. Oh, we stole your demographic, this a turf war, bruh. They said you calling me a loser, that's news to me. Oh, you mad you lost more viewers than there used to be. You mad I'm brighter than some fireworks from Jubilee. And I do math while spitting fire rocking 2 degrees.
Double degrees, I daily double to the maximum. Powder looking dumped it in the platinum. Why they crack the acronym? The fact that I'm still defending fans when they laugh at them. Dual core, let them know how nerd life attacking.
Something's right, never forgotten. Knowing losing isn't an option. The greatest undefeated champion of the game, his name is Watson. Up in the news, dropping the clues, setting the record with a new score.
The coolest rapper ever.
Who is Dual Core?
Trebek, you're not as clever as you endeavor to seem. Hope somebody scribble loser on the podium screen. Doubling your daily diss dose, cause you're just that wrong. You still look weird without your mustache on. And you haven't worn it for a while, but it still looks weird. Put your mustache back on.
What is a bully, a phony, a know-it-all with all the answers, who is full of baloney and only always condescending, who's the meanest Canadian, plus the cheapest comedian who left his lane and jumped the median? We're only teasing him, the reason I'm reacting isn't that you called us losers, we are. We base the genre on it, flaws can all be used as PR, but you were rude to Susan, and it goes to show how little you know, pal, it's really a joke. You host a trivia show,
and what
Alex.
did you expect when you're making funny guests? Joyful smiles that you wreck, here's a song for you, Trebek, but I'm really not upset. In fact, I'm quite surprised. The first press that we've gotten since when, 2005?
Alex Trebek, you lost a lot of respect. I gotta check you off the rip for coming out of your neck. Talking sideways about nerds, you a trip. Guess you hadn't heard geeks make up half of your viewership. Nerdcore is home to some serious lyricists. I'll break it down in a format you're familiar with. This host gets roasted on SNL yearly. Host a show for nerds and doesn't know that, clearly. No one likes to know it all, condescending, blow hard. Easy to be snarky when you're holding all the note cards. Susan got the last laugh and the cash. You're good at any show, this a lifetime pass.
Georgie, you should start thinking before you speak. Your achievements are watching smarter people succeed. But losers, my dudes, maybe he wasn't wrong, cause we did spend all day making this freaking song. I mean, I'm not the only one who sees this as weird, right? I mean, this is weird even by our standards.
Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. You can suck it, Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. And you can suck it, Trebek, Trebek, Trebek. You can suck it, Trebek.
No, I'm teasing you.
That's hilarious. I wonder if the Nerdcore rappers can come together and do a tribute song to him now that Alex Trebek has passed away. But I like the humor in that one, and it's just kind of cool to see that you can have Nerdcores doing a diss track to a television host. That's hip-hop right there. And kind of the shade that Alex Trebek was able to throw at contestants and how he could be wry with it. Kind of hip-hop too. And I love the fact that there were always hip-hop clues in the show. And not just clues, but sometimes whole categories. So you ready to play a few more? See if you can get the answers to these. Remember to answer them in the form of a question. This is Know Your History, episode 87. We're looking at Jeopardy and paying tribute to the man, Alex Trebek. Yo, Alex, give us some more clues.
Hip-hop musicians' real names. Aha.
Musicians 2000.
Back in the good old days, he was Ben Haggerty from Seattle. Gabe.
Who is Macklemore?
Yes.
Musicians 1600.
This leader of Public Enemy was originally Carlton Ridenour. Christine?
Who is Flavor Flav?
No. Jason?
Who is Chuck D?
Yes, he's the one.
Musicians 1200.
It's not an invasion of privacy to reveal that she is also known as Belcalis Almanzar. Gabe?
Who is Cardi B?
Correct.
Real name's 8.
Austin Post used a rap name generator to come up with this alias. Jason?
What is Post Malone?
Correct.
Hip Hop 400.
A Peanuts character is the source of this stage name that Calvin Brodus uses. Gabe?
What is Snoop Dogg?
Yep.
How'd you do on that one? We're playing Jeopardy. And this next set of clues, Alex Trebek is rapping, and you gotta guess the artist.
Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head, rapped this pioneering grandmaster. Eric.
Grandmaster Flash?
Correct.
Okay, I gotta stop that one there because Grandmaster Flash is not a rapper. He's the DJ. Melly Mel was rapping that one, but I wouldn't expect that to be a general music clue on a general quiz show. So Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five would have been a good answer, but not just Grandmaster Flash, so that question should have been wrong. Let's hear some more lyrics from Alex Trebek and see if you can get the right questions. Remember, answer in a form of question and call it out. Let's play along on our radios right now. This is Jeopardy.
I made the change from a common thief to up close and personal with Robin Leach, rapped this notorious guy. Mary.
Who is Notorious B.I.G.?
Yes.
It's a rap 1200.
Another plane, another train, another bottle in the brain. The Beastie Boys rapped in No Sleep Till Here. Eric.
What is Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, correct. You have 3 clues left up there, Mary.
It's a rap 1600.
In Nuttin' But a G-Thang, this doctor rapped, never let me slip, because if I slip, then I'm slipping. Mary.
Who's Dr. Dre?
Yes.
It's a rap 2000.
Public Enemy. You go ooh and ah when I jump in my car. People treat me like this Hall of Fame LA Lakers center. Mary.
Who is Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Yes, and I don't know why that's making you laugh so much.
We have time for one final round of Jeopardy. In this one, you have to identify the person that is not a rapper in the category.
Ice Cube, Iceberg, Ice-T. Casey.
Who is Iceberg?
Yep, not a successful rap musician.
Rap musician for 400.
Corn Dog, Nate Dogg, Snoop Dogg. Caitlin.
Who is Corn Dog?
Good.
Rap for 600, please.
Lil Scrappy, Notorious B.I.G., MC Medium. Jason.
Who's MC Medium?
Yes.
Rap 800.
Nipsey Hussle, Twista, Boogaloo B. Jason.
Who's Boogaloo B?
You got him.
Rap for 1000.
Exhibit, Exterminator, DMX. Caitlin.
Who is Exterminator?
That's it.
Rest in peace, Alex Trebek. You will be missed, and I hope this half hour is a small tribute to show how much and how important you are and were, and this game show is in our lives. You will be missed. Television will not be the same without you. And that does it for this edition of Know Your History on Dope FM and Word is Bond Rap Radio. But keep it locked, because we got some great music on the other side of these spots. Don't go anywhere.